What's up YouTube, it's your boy Chris and you are watching Chris TV. I know it's been a minute since I've done a YouTube video. In a couple months it will make a year since my first YouTube video that I made. I haven't made a YouTube video in over like 9 months, but I have my reasons. Honestly, there are no reasons. I just didn't feel like making a YouTube video, if I'm being completely honest. So yeah, today I'm going to be giving you my coming out story and how I came out to my family and like the whole process of it all. So I recently just came out as bisexual. Well, recently to social media. I came out as bisexual on social media on New Year's of this year as my New Year's resolution, you know. New year, new me. Literally. But I actually came out to my family like 2019. Okay, so when I came out, it wasn't all at once process. Like I didn't gather my family into one big room and just come out and tell them. It was a one-by-one process. So it was like one family member at a time. The first person that I came out to was my second oldest sister, Nori. And that's when we had like direct TV. Like we didn't hop on to Netflix, Hulu and all that until like we were late hopping on that train. So we were still like watching direct TV or whatever the case may be. And at that point in time, that's where you could like pause the TV or whatever the case may be. So I told her, pause the TV. So she was like, what's up, Chris? Why are you telling me to pause the TV? And I was sitting there for a minute and I was contemplating on like, is this really what I want to do? Is this really the move I want to make? Because for the longest, in my heart, I knew that I liked it. Boys and girls liked it. Oh my God, it's so ghetto. But in my heart, I knew that I liked boys and girls. And like, I used to see like all these coming out stories and stuff like that. And I was like, I want to be free and let people know what my preference is, so I need to take the first step. So I was sitting there for a good 2 minutes and I was contemplating on like, is this really what I want to do? So I finally had built up enough courage to tell her, and I was just like, sis, I like boys and I like girls. She was stunned, but at the same time, your family know. Your family knows. If you are around someone 24/7 and they don't think something is up, then that's not your real family members. But people that you around 24/7, they know when you're hiding something. So she knew that it was something I was hiding. She didn't know exactly what I was hiding, but she knew I was hiding something. So after I ended up telling her that, she was asking me a ton of questions. She was asking me like, what's your preference? What kind of dudes do you like? If you were in a relationship with the boy, would you be the boy or the girl? All these questions. And I was just like, whoa, whoa, dude. You putting a lot of pressure on me, bro. I haven't got to that yet. Like, I just realized, like, hey, I like boys and girls. I haven't thought about the depths of it. Just give me some time and I'll get back to you with the answers. So like after I had told her and we had the conversation about it, whatever the case may be, we just went back to watching TV. She knew, I knew. It was just neutral. So fast forward to like the summertime, because when I told my second older sister, we were still in school. Like we were in the months before school let out for summer. So fast forward to summer, I ended up going to my oldest sister's house and I was spending the summertime with her. And she had just got a new car and stuff like that. And I was like, I wanted to drive it. So I was like, let me drive, you know what I'm saying? Let me get in the car, skirt. SRT. She ended up letting me drive her car, whatever the case may be. And I figured she kind of knew something, like, because we were driving and we came to a stop sign and she was just like, you know, Chris, if there's anything that you want to talk about, anything that you ever need to tell me, anything you need to get off your chest and, you know, talk to your big sister about, you know, you could just come to me. You know, you could tell me anything. I'm always here for you, this, that, and the third. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, she's getting a grasp of something. I don't know what she's picking at, but I was like, I recently just came out to my older sister. I'm pretty sure she haven't said nothing, but at the same time, it's like, you can never be too cautious. I was just like, you know, I came out to my other sister so I could tell her, you know, I mean, we all family here, we're all siblings, you know. I told one, I could tell the other. So I had just came out to her while we were driving, and literally the exact same thing happened when I told her. She was like, you know, your family knows. They know something. They know when you are hiding something. They might not know exactly what, but they know. So she was like, I always suspected that you were like hiding something or whatever the case may be. She was like, I'm shocked, but I'm not surprised or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, girl, what you mean by that? Is there something I don't know? Like, what you mean by that? You know what I'm saying? But like, same thing happened. She was asking me all these questions, just like my other sister. And I was just like, y'all, give me a break. I will figure that out in due time. So I ended up going back to my mama's house. And my mama and my older sister had went somewhere. And I don't know what they talked about, but when my mama came back to that house that day, she was like, if you ever need to talk about anything, or if you ever want to talk to me, you know I'm here, you know I love you, son. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, why is this such a repeated cycle? What is going on? Like, oh my, at this point in time, like, let me air it all out before the next family member comes to me and like, if you ever want to talk about something, you can come to me. Like, no. So let me just air this all out. Later on that day, my mama was on the phone with her friend or whatever the case may be, and I'm like, Mama, I need to talk to you. So she was like, on the phone, she was like, I'll call you back later. My son wants to talk to me or whatever the case may be. And maybe it was because she was waiting for that conversation. Maybe she was waiting for that conversation, so she hurried off the phone or not. I don't really know. But I had came out to her and I was like, Mama, I like boys and I like girls. So when I came out to her, it was like, it wasn't what I expected, but it wasn't what I didn't expect. It was, when I came out to her, it was real emotional and like kind of getting emotional talking about it, but I'm not gonna cry or nothing like that. But like, it was real emotional, like, cause we were both crying. She started crying, and I'm one of the type of people like the domino effect. When you cry, I'm gonna start crying too. Like, that's the type of person I am. So she started crying, and I started crying, and we were just sitting there having a conversation, barely being able to hear each other because we just crying. So it's like, when you cry and you talk, can't nobody hear what you're saying. So we were sitting there and, you know, she was just telling me like, son, I still accept you. I still love you. You still my son at the end of the day. I love you for you. I accept you for you. And at that point in time, I was like 13 going on 14 or something like that. And she was like, son, I accept you. And if this is what you are long term, I love you and I accept you. But for right now, don't get too attached to the thought, because a lot of young boys go through this phase, and when they get older, the phase is over with. So she was like, I don't want you to get your heart too set on something and make a big decision of coming out or something like that, and this is only just a phase. So that's basically what she was telling me. She wasn't telling me like she didn't accept me. She just wanted me to be careful and to think about all the aspects of it before just like, boom, okay, I'm bisexual, and then boom, 3 years later, that's not what I like, that's not what I prefer. Take that time to reflect on you, to get to really know yourself, because you can't say that you like something if you've never really tried it. Because to me, at that point in time, it was just a thought. Like, I thought and knew that I liked boys and girls, but it wasn't like oh, I've done something with the boys, so now I can say I like, you know, like, don't get your heart set on something that you haven't tried yet. So I was like, you know, this is real smart. This is real smart to step back and to look at it and reflect and get time to, you know, get the time to know yourself and know what you like and know what you prefer before you just make this big decision. She hugged me and we talked about it a little bit more after that. Like, you have to have a lot of courage to tell the person that gave you life that, you know, that you are not what they expected, because every mother is just going to expect that their son is going to grow up and like nothing but women and have grandchildren for them and whatever the case may be. So like, it takes a lot of courage to tell your parents that you are not what they expected. You know, it's a new day, it's a new age, it's a new year, it's a new, you know, it's a new world. Like, people really not strung up on that idea anymore. Like, I say if I was this age like 10, 20 years earlier, then maybe it would have been like such, you know, like, you are a disappointment of the family, like that type of stuff, because people was not accepting that idea, people was not accepting that, let alone the idea of it. So yeah, if I was this age 10, 20 years earlier, then I'm glad to say that I have like people that support me, because that's my intermediate family. My intermediate family is my mother and my 2 sisters. I don't really talk to my father like that. I have my reasons, and I haven't told him yet, but everybody else pretty much knows. Once again, it was like the domino effect. When I told one sibling, that sibling, like once I told my intermediate family, I allowed them to tell other people. And then on New Year's, I came out to social media worldwide. Like, my family knew, people inside my family knew, close friends knew, like people that I told knew, but everybody didn't know. I don't really care what people think or what they say about me, because people gonna talk about you whether you're doing something good, whether you're doing something bad. People gonna talk about you regardless. Even when you're dead, people gonna talk about you. So I was like, you know, you can't live your life for others and trying to please others. You can only please yourself. And if this is something that you want, this is something that, you know, that you want to do, then this is what you do. Mind you, I came out to my family when I was like 13, going on 14. I didn't come out until this year, and I'm 16 now. So just, I'm glad that I took that time to reflect and figure out what I really like, because now I know that I like boys and I like girls. But I encourage people, if you know in your heart that you like something, you want to be some type of way, you are determined to be that person that you are, be the best version of yourself that you can be. Don't be held back because of other people's opinions, what other people expect you to be, what other people want you to be. You cannot live for yourself through others. You have to be yourself, your own person. You have to determine that for yourself. You cannot let other people determine what you like, what you want, what your preference is, because if you do, then you always gonna fall. You always gonna fall down to peer pressure. You're going to fall down under other people's pressure because you are trying to be what other people want you to be. Be yourself. Be the best person you can be. So I encourage you, because the longer you wait, the longer you hide something, the longer that you stay inside the closet or stay inside that bubble, the less time you have to live your life the way that you want to be. And that's just facts, because no one's gonna love you like you love yourself. And if you are so strung up on the thought of pleasing everybody else and making sure that they love you this certain type of way, you're never gonna be happy in life. I hope that this encourages you to make this step and to be yourself. Love yourself unapologetically. That wraps it up on the story time of me coming out. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, because I promise to be more consistent this year. I promise I'm going to be more consistent. I have so many concepts and video ideas that I want to show you all, and I promise I am going to show you all these videos. So just subscribe and hit that bell so that you can get notified every time I post something. And that's all, folks. Peace out.